So welcome to the afternoon session of the ISR Research Forum 2013 edition. Much like the morning session, we have four faculty who we've invited to make presentations. The first presentation will be by Professor Alati Venkatesh, who's a professor of management at the Mirage School of Business here at UC Irvine. And Alati's been here for many years. He's a wonderful friend and colleague. I'm sure you'll enjoy his presentation talking about trends and transformations in the digital home. And with that, Alati.
Thank you very much, Bob. And thank you, Nick, for inviting me, and thanks everybody for being here. I've been given about 18 minutes, so to cover all my research in 18 minutes not going to be easy. I'll give you a little, can you all hear me in the back? Okay. So I'll give you a little sort of some sense of what I'm doing and what we are planning to do in the future. There are two parts to my presentation: what we have found out in terms of the digital household or digital home, and where we are going from here. Depending on the time, I will do the second part, otherwise we'll finish with the first one. So that's where it is. And I want to acknowledge a grant from the NSF for this. Let me see now. Okay. Before that, I just want to give you a little feel for what these pictures are. We do a lot of work in the survey, national surveys as well as the field work. We go into homes and study the use of technologies. My interest is not just computers. I study technology in the home, refrigerators to washers to anything that you can think of. But my main focus is computers. In order to understand the computers, I think you need to understand what is the technological environment of the home, what goes on. So I've done studies in Sweden, India, and the US. Today I'm going to talk about some of the things that we have found in the US context. The third part of my work is really designing stuff for the home. That's we are looking at how do we develop a family information system. I won't be able to cover that, but that's an artist design of our family, what we call family portal. Okay, now. Should be working. Okay. The concept is very simple. We divide the home as a living space, and then and we call them activity centers. What goes on in the home is social activities, information, communication, home management, education, learning, job-related work, entertainment, and shopping. And then the idea is to see, given these activity centers, what goes on with the computers in the home? What do they do within the context of these activity centers? Which activity centers dominate? What kinds of activities are performed? So this gives you a conceptual scheme for our research. Essentially, this particular slide gives you a little more detail in terms of the structure of the home, what goes on. And if you look at the thing there, so just take information. What kind of information is collected through computers, news, weather, sports, etc., etc. So these are the kinds of information that they collect on the computer. So you can think of a number of, these are the activity centers, and these are the activities that go on with the help of the computers. That is really our sort of expanding the previous slide. Evolution of home computing, it also, I think we have to remember, this study has been going on for quite some time. And then the concept of computing in the home is not stationary, it is evolving considerably. So for example, in the 1980s, the computers were ordinary desktop computers, and you can see what's happened in 2010. I'm going to be talking about some of the issues here that if you have time in the future. So many technologies have entered into the home. So it's not stationary, it's not like studying automobiles or refrigerators in the home. Because of the evolving nature of the technology, the issues become more complex, more dynamic, also very interesting. So this gives you an idea of how we use technological life cycle, technology progress, and in the context of the home. So the studies, today I'm going to be talking about the study based on 1200 households, sample of 1200 households, random sample of the US household taken over a period of 10 years, 1999 to 2010. The research questions are, how are computers integrated into the home environment? That's the first one. What are the major use patterns? What role are mobile phones playing on the home front? We are now studying mobile technologies in the home also. And what are some major future trends? So those are the 4 questions that we'll be talking about. So the first thing is we want to examine how computers have been integrated into the context of the household. When we've been integrated, for example, technologies become part of the home life. So these 4 graphs tell you something about it. Particularly, I want to look at what's happened to in 1999, there is a low level of integration. Only 33% of the families claim that it's been integrated to the family life. So if you come to the 2010, almost 55% say that it's been integrated. Integrated means it's been assimilated into the family. So this particular graph gives you a little indication of the level of integration. It's not 100%, but it's in certain kinds of demographics, it's 100%. In poor urban, semi-urban, and non-urban in families, it's actually less than that. So this gives you just the mean of the level of integration. What we found is greater integration occurs associated positively with the presence of children. Those households without children, there's a greater integration of the computers into the home. Income plays a major role. Education also has a major role. And urban as opposed to rural. Urban, semi-urban actually have the highest level of integration, almost 80 to 90%, where the rural is almost close to about 10% to 20%. Larger cities than smaller cities. It seems intuitive, but actually the numbers are very important. If I ask you to guess what is the level of integration, you might come up with these kinds of answers. But the point is, we need to know the exact percentages. Well, what is the level of integration? How is this integration occurring? I think this is what we study in our research. Mobile phones also, we're also looking at mobile phones. For example, the houses with mobile phones, only 23% of the households only have mobile phones. You can take a guess what the demographics of the households which have only mobile phones. Can anybody take a guess? Pardon me?
Young people.
Absolutely. Okay, it's very obvious, right? So the survey becomes complicated for us because when you are studying computers, first of all, the surveys become very, very challenging. Many of them don't have regular telephones. Telephone survey used to be the fashion until about 2000. Now you can't do telephone surveys, the regular telephone surveys, because most of the people don't have actually regular telephones. So the cost of doing a survey becomes extraordinarily expensive. Anyway, this is again, we found that the 23% of the households do not have landlines. So that actually is a very interesting finding. We also try to compare the mobile phone use with the computer use. This is what this particular slide says. Let me give you some little feel for this. Activity center. I talked about the activity center. Communications, making phone calls, mobile use is the highest. That's naturally, you can expect that. Sending or receiving text messages, 75%. In other words, mobile phones is predominantly in the area of communication. What about information seeking? It's not too far behind, it's 42% only, but still it's actually quite substantial. That means data is from 2010. 42% of the mobile phones are used for seeking information. Now we can guess it probably much, much higher, but we don't have the current figures right now. What about the social activities? Social networking goes mostly through the computers, 70% and 82%, whereas taking photos is 74%. So stands to reason, you expect this to happen, so that's what's going on. What about shopping? Shopping is rather low in our survey at least. Only 18% of the people said they do shopping and using the phones, whereas computers are really predominantly the shopping instrument. That's very interesting actually. This could be changing a little bit in the next few years. What about entertainment? Entertainment, again, computers dominate. 81% of the households say they do all the entertainment on computers, whereas only 35 to 37% say they do entertainment on the computers. One has to be careful. If you go look at the numbers closely, the households which have only mobile phones, probably the percentages will be much higher. But I wanted to give you a little feel for the total survey. Job-related work, 63% survey in the computer use, they report job-related work. We don't have the figure here. It could be growing larger now. School-related work, 54%. Online banking, you can see that 75% on the computer use and 25% on the online banking on the mobile phones. Calendar, mobile phones dominate. Getting a map for directions, mobile phones. Travel and vacation planning, computers. Family and household record keeping, computers. Though this gives you actually a particular point of time, 2010, what the picture is. In 2013, you can see that this column could be changing quite dramatically. First of all, not only are mobile phones being used in greater percentages here, but also the concept of what a mobile phone becomes a computer in the home. So you can't really, the technology is so confusing that you can't separate mobile versus the computer. That also is an important kind of a finding that you have to think of. I just have a couple of slides and then I'll stop. And where do we go from here? I'll give you a little feel for the kind of data we're collecting. We are looking at the concept of the connected household. So what do you mean by connected household? This term is used with constant in the literature. We are trying to figure out is it people and objects with objects, etc., etc. So for example, one is the connected things, which is how things are connected. And this is again, we are studying how objects are connected in the household, how technologies are connected with in the home. So this is giving you some feel for that. Thank you very much. That's my presentation. Any questions?
Yes, so we have time for questions.
Does currently, when you say mobile phones, are you also including pads?
Pardon me?
Are you including pads?
Yeah.
On mobile phones?
Yeah.
Are you going to separate that out at some
Well,
point?
we have to
Can you
actually,
even up there?
yeah, that's right.
Would that be-
Yeah. Yes, sir.
On a mobile phone use at work, you didn't have data. And that was because,
We did not collect the data at that time.
okay,
Yeah.
because I know that a lot of the large corporations issue
Come
mobile
to
phones.
yeah. What's happened is when you're doing surveys, it becomes very, you know how it is. Just to give you an idea, in 1999, when we did a survey of 12,000 households, it cost us something like $20,000. In 2010, the same 1,200 households cost us $125,000.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. You can't do surveys, random, sample surveys on telephone anymore. It's just impossible. The callbacks are so tremendous. If you're thinking of doing a good survey on a telephone survey, the callbacks are something like between, on average, 12 to 14. It used to be 3 to 4. First of all, they don't have telephones, so that's another problem. The other one is that the number is growing. It is impossible to do telephone surveys these days. So you have to actually depend on the computer to do surveys. So just to give you a little, yes?
And it seems like the trend is that computers are being replaced by the pads.
Very true, very true. So we have to wait to look
You
at
see
those
that?
kinds of issues. Yes, I don't deny that actually. That's why I gave you the survey as of 2010 actually. Yeah. Okay.
Any more questions?
All right. Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
thank you very much.